Fall is my favorite time of year for gardening projects. This is the Front Range Gardener, and let me show you the projects I'm going to undertake this fall. Fall and spring are great times to plant perennials in your landscape. However, in spring, I am so consumed with planting annuals, with planting pots, that I just don't have the time that I have to deal with major projects like I do in fall. This is a project from fall 3 years ago. If you watched my video on fall planting, then you watched me plant these beautiful dark night spireas. 4 years ago, my fall project was planting this level of my retaining wall. It's looking really filled in right now. This area was a fall project from 2 years ago when I trenched and installed new sprinkler systems, but it's just not making me happy. So there are a few little projects in this area. These coral bells turned out to be a little bit delicate, and you can see they are getting sunburned. So I'm going to dig these up, divide them, and plant them in a shadier part of the yard. This area used to have 3 winter creepers, but between the deer and a really harsh winter, they all died back. So I planted these Oregon grapes in their place. But now I need to fill in, and I'm going to use those delicate coral bells in this area. Mrs. Front Range Gardener says that this juniper has to go. So I'm going to replace it with this beautiful Scots pine. Last year I ripped out another juniper and I planted this Scots pine. And I like it so much. I'm going to do that again this year. Mrs. Front Range Gardener tells me it's time to dig up and divide this iris. So that's another project. These blanket flowers, well, they're just one of my garden mistakes. And so I'm going to pull them out and put some irises in this spot. I have a border of dianthus, and it's starting to look pretty good, but I'm going to fill it in with a few more new plants. Now, I used to have some blue fescue as the border, and this is a plant that I really do like. However, the rabbits like them too. Look what rabbits have done to this poor fescue. So over time, I think I'm going to expand the dianthus by planting new plants, and in the spring, I'll divide some of the existing plants to get more. In some of my barrels, I used perennials that'll actually do really well in our climate. So once the frost kills all the annuals in this barrel, I'm going to take these black-eyed Susans and place them into the ground. Every fall, I divide my Shasta daisies. This year, I'll divide a few of the daisies and start filling in a little bit more in the front yard. This was a great year for the Shasta daisies. Later in the fall, I'm going to harvest the seeds from these sunflowers so that I can plant them again next year. I love these gladiolas, but they're getting to be a real thicket in the garden. So I'm going to have to dig most of them up and separate them and save some of the gladiola corms for use in the front yard. Well, those are some of the projects I have planned for this fall, but the Front Range daughter also has a huge project that she's planning to do with me, and she wants to plant a native pollinator garden at her new house. Plenty of projects to keep me busy and make me a happy gardener.